advanced Ride Carriage Drives, demonstration of a Rein machine. And why do we use a Rein machine? We use a Rein machine because it gets our beginner driver the chance to learn the handholds, carry a whip, and learn to start, stop and steer before we get the complication of a horse and carriage in front of them. It also allows us to get their position and course set up, so we've set them up for success when we start them with a carriage. Your body posture in a carriage is important for your safety, security and balance. With a wedge seat and an angled footboard, you should have your feet together on the footboard ideally, or at worst shoulder width apart, and this allows you to be safe and secure in your carriage. The Achenbach driving system is designed to drive traditional style carriages across multiple types of terrain. Under the Achenbach system, the reins are secured in the left hand. The left rein sits over the left index finger and under the left thumb. The right rein sits between the second and third finger. The last two fingers are the fingers that physically hold the reins. The other three fingers are wrapped around the reins for security. It's important that the width of your reins equal the width of the joint in your hand. The right hand holds the whip and manipulates the reins. So the whip is held between the thumb and heel of the hand, and you have four fingers left to manipulate the reins. The little finger and the next two fingers hold the right rein. The index finger and thumb go over the left rein and sit in front of the left hand. This is basic or working position. Under the Achenbach system, the half halt is an incredibly important tool that is much underused in the driving world. The half halt, which is a gentle squeeze, alerts the horse that something new is going to happen, that you want his attention. So as we're getting ready to set off with our horses, we must make a half halt to get their attention before we ask them for any movement. So we're going to squeeze, and as we squeeze and release, we're going to ask them to walk on, and the horses should be quietly moving away from you at that point. When driving, your whip is an incredibly important piece of equipment. This whip is the equivalent of your legs when riding. When held driving, it is held between the thumb and the heel of the hand, so you've got four fingers free to manipulate the reins. The left hand always holds the reins, the right hand manipulates them. As we're going along the road, we may need to use our whip on the horse to encourage them to go forwards. If we want to do this, we take our right hand off the reins and use our whip on the horse's shoulder, either the right shoulder or the left shoulder, depending on what we need. When we're done with that, we slide it back into our hand and our hand goes back into working position. If we should need to use our right hand to operate our brake, tip our hat at a guest, wave at somebody, we place our whip in our left hand under our left thumb. As we're driving along the road and the road undulates, we may need to lengthen or shorten our reins by sliding our right hand up and our left hand behind it, and that gives us a small shorten. If we need to shorten reins a lot, we come behind and take an armful of rein and shorten that rein, both reins. Conversely, we can lengthen our reins by taking the right hand and taking the rein out of the left hand to lengthen our reins. And now as we're driving along the road, we're going to come to a right hand curve. So we're going to take our right hand off the reins, we're going to take an armful of rein, we're going to make a half halt with our right hand and squeeze gently to say to our horse, "Hey my friend, we want your attention." We're going to take with the right, and as we take with the right, we're going to give with the left, and the degree of give with the left equals the degree of turn. And remember that every turn we make is a dynamic turn. It's not just one hand position holds everything. It's a balance between the two hands as we're going around the turn to ensure that we make the curve smoothly. So as we're going along the road, we're now reached the point in the road where we need to make a left turn. To make a left turn, we start with stage 1 on our left turn is we make a bridge of about 6 or 8 inches. It's incredibly important at this point that we keep our reins parallel, because if we don't keep them parallel, we begin to make the turn before we're ready. Stage 2 of our left turn is our left hand turns over and we look at our wristwatch. Stage 3 is our left hand moves to our right hip, and as it moves to our right hip, we give with our right hand, and the degree of give with our right hand equals the degree of turn. Once we've completed our turn, we take our right hand back and slide the rein back into our left hand, put our hands back into working position, and we're still going along the road straight and beautifully. A rein machine is an incredibly important tool for teaching people to start, stop and steer before we actually put them in a carriage.